Good morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, when you should be eating, when you should be at the dinner table, wherever, whenever you guys take this class. I hope you are doing well. This is day 2 of our oil section, and today we're going to talk about boom and bust cycles. So, to recap, yesterday we spoke on Spindletop, or whenever you watch the video. We talked about Spindletop and how it kind of was the spark that led to this great flame that ignited the oil industry in Texas and led the United States to become the world's #1 oil producer, and we led that for quite some time thereafter. So Spindletop is the crown jewel, but there were also other oil towns as well, and that caused lots of interest, lots of attention to people coming and seeking opportunity in Texas. Just like in San Francisco, the opportunity for silver and gold, the 49ers in the year 49, were some people who are very interested in the middle of the century, around this same period, kind of. You always want to look for opportunities. You always want to look for a way to get ahead. So we'll talk about boom and bust cycles today. So number one, first, boom and bust cycle. I have this for you here, this presentation. This is the growth of largest Texas cities from 1900 to 1920. And I'm just going to go through some of these things with you. Obviously, I'll read the things, but I also want you to look at different things in this map, okay? In the early 1900s, the population of Texas's largest cities boomed. These cities grew as they became centers for industry, manufacturing, and trade. The expansion of Texas's railroads helped make such growth possible. So, the population in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Fort Worth, all of them are going up like crazy. In 1900, Dallas had less than 45,000 people. 20 years later, they had over tripled. Houston from 44 to 138,000. It's crazy. So you'll see, and we've seen this in our classroom before, maps of population disbursement. Most of Texas lives in these areas. And I wonder why these areas became so popular or attracted other people to come call them home. It's because of opportunity. Opportunity such as this. Take a listen. The discovery of oil in East Texas oil fields led to what economists refer to as a boom and bust cycle. Towns boomed in population and wealth as workers flooded the area to drill for oil. Kilgore, in the center of East Texas oil field region, grew from 500 people in the early 1930s to a booming city of 12,000 6 years later. Okay, it also is home to more than 1,100 oil wells. Some towns declined when oil wells dried up and the companies moved out. This boom and bust cycle has occurred in other industries as well, including housing and cotton, and honestly, many others as well. So as we go back to this, when we talk about sharp growth in our economy, no matter what industry we're talking about, like I mentioned yesterday in the video, in the late 90s, as people were getting computers into their home, that would be the dot-com boom that people talk about, the technological boom. This is where people like Bill Gates became world renowned for their wealth. They are taking advantage of that opportunity. So a sharp growth in our economy is called a boom. It can happen locally, but these real noteworthy things that we talk about when we talk about Amazon and online retail, when we talk about Walmart and bringing everything under one roof, when we talk about oil, when we talk about real estate, when we talk about transportation and the railroad industry and whatever's coming next, we talk about them happening globally. Things that change the entire world is what the real big booms are. So this happened frequently in Texas with the discovery of oil. Go ahead and check it out. Not this.
Isn't your own lack of talent?
Oh, you're all such talented writers. Don't be
What's up, guys? Welcome to Slow Mo Lab. If you watched our videos for a while, you know we love to blow up balloons. And experiment with different balloons. Today, I got a giant balloon, and what I'm gonna do today, I'm just gonna blow it up, and we're gonna see it explode and film it in super slow motion. Let's do it. Alright, so I got one of these lid blowers, and I'm gonna put my balloon on top of it. Hopefully it's not gonna tear it apart or anything like that. And we're gonna blow it up. But of course I'm gonna put some duct tape or some package tape on it to make sure it actually doesn't fall off of it. But hopefully it's gonna be very big before it pops. Let's check it out.
This is one man show. No one offers to help.
I didn't bite the balloon through. Alright. Let's check it out. I'm gonna hold it with my hands too. Alright, slow motion ready? Let's do it. Oh my god. That freaks me out. Ah! Let's check it out in slow motion.
What? Look at that! Let's go! What? Let's go! Balloon pops are so much fun.
That balloon went to shredded into pieces.
That was awesome! Now, why would we show you this? Why would we spend time blowing up a balloon or watching someone else blow up a balloon and then watch it pop? Well, a lot of times these boom cycles, they happen really quickly and people get very excited. People uproot their families, they move, they invest in opportunities. They might take what money they have and put it into a different venture. And all of a sudden, sometimes these markets become oversaturated rather quickly. People wonder, why is California the largest populated state? Well, because a lot of people wanted that opportunity in the middle of that kind of like Manifest Destiny moving out west and now incentivizing it by going to make a buck through the silver and gold exploration. Finding that, are you kidding me? The gold rush, the silver rush? People want that. So they will flock to these opportunities. They will flock to more prosperity if they think they can find it. But ultimately, it's too many people too quickly. And so a lot of times a boom cycle is followed by a bust cycle. So that balloon can only get so big, and the oil industry can only sustain so many people coming to these locations before the oil dries up. So workers would flock to new oil fields for opportunities. Homes, restaurants, banks, stores, all of these things would open, and more people would move to work to open these businesses. Kind of on topic, kind of not, but it's interesting to me. If I say LeBron James, most of you probably know who I'm talking about. And when LeBron James decided to leave Cleveland and go to Miami, when you guys were in elementary school, and then he went back to Cleveland and left Cleveland again to go to Los Angeles, Cleveland, like the downtown area of Cleveland, economically suffered because LeBron James was so popular and made that team so competitive that he would fill the seats. And when he filled the seats, people would order nachos. And when they ordered nachos, they were helping concessions. When they help concessions, they help all supply chain wise, they help all sorts of things, all sorts of peoples, all sorts of industries. So recently, a couple years ago, when he went to Los Angeles, businesses were shutting down because not enough people were going to the games. They didn't want to go have a drink after. They didn't want to eat dinner before. And the downtown Cleveland area had been impacted negatively. So these boom cycles and these bust cycles happen all sorts of times. And they can happen rather quickly when it comes to the bust. It took a long time for that balloon to fill up. So these farmers can be going and filling up their farmland. These people looking for oil opportunities can come to these new towns and gradually they'll grow. But when everything runs out or the opportunity is gone and people can't make a living anymore, they're on to the next thing. So keep that in mind. A sharp decline in the economy is called a bust. So if the oil field dried up, which inevitably they did, oil workers left to go to new oil fields. Restaurants and stores would close, just like my LeBron James story. Homes would lose their values. Banks would close. Soon, very few people would be left. So you'll see the population fluctuate big. Some people might stay and find new ventures and then come out. So you'll go around and you'll see lots of different towns in Texas. If you've traveled a lot throughout Texas, you'll see what's called these ghost towns, and that's something we'll talk about later in the week. I hope you and your families are staying safe. I hope you guys did the e-learning survey yesterday, or if you haven't, please take care of that. The district really needs that information. I hope you guys are doing a great job on your discussion questions or answering the questions or reading the presentation if you're in my GT class. Be well, be crazy, be happy, and make sure to take care of yourselves. We will see you later.